Let us now assess what we did this week. Our main emphasis this week was on writing a good paragraph. A good paragraph consists of clarity, it has focus, and the sequence in which we organize our ideas is well defined. We wrote on 5 topics this week: the city of Surabaya, eating dinner with family, my best friend, a busy morning, and my hobby. Now let us take a closer look at a paragraph on the city of Surabaya. It begins very well, saying that it is the second capital of Indonesia. A very good statement. Then it follows stating that Surabaya is in red zone of COVID-19. You can see here that the writer did not use capital S to spell Surabaya, and I have also changed the verb to present tense. It is because the essential tense that one needs to use when describing a place is present tense. As you read through the rest of the information, you can see that instead of using culinary, which is the adjective form of the word, we have used cuisine to mean Surabaya is popular for its food. As the paragraph progresses, it tells us that it is popular for its environment. It also has several monuments and statues, and they symbolize the important landmarks in Surabaya's history. It goes on to say that Surabaya has many houses. Now you can see that I have crossed out the entire sentence because it is very obvious that any city of the size of Surabaya is likely to have many houses. So, we really need not state such obvious information when we write a paragraph. Now, given below are some suggested themes for the paragraphs that can follow the first introductory paragraph that we can read here. The next paragraphs could talk about the monuments and people who belong to the history of Surabaya. It can also be followed by the food that Surabaya is famous for, and there can be a paragraph about the history of how the city was built by the ancestors of people living in this place. In this paragraph, we learn about the writer going on a trip to Hawaii with 3 of her best friends. They take a really long flight, and you must notice that I have removed this plural marker that is attached to our. It is because the words 14 hours work as an adjective phrase that describes flight. And since the words work as an adjective, we need not have that plural marker, and therefore it will be a 14-hour flight. We often do this when we describe our age. So we say, my 12-year-old brother and 13-year-old sister are very close to me. The paragraph's title suggests that the information in the paragraph will be about the best friend or friends of the author. But what we learn instead is their trip to Hawaii. Although you may include a time that you spent with your friends in an essay about your best friend, but it is advisable to place this paragraph somewhere in the middle of your essay. Now, let us examine a paragraph about eating dinner with family. The paragraph starts with a very good sentence where the author describes a young boy named Jonah getting excited for a series of festive family dinners. You can see that the author does not use past tense form of the verb in the second sentence and also forgets to use capital L to spell lily. Now, it is very common to forget to use the same tense throughout the paragraph when we are composing our content. However, the easiest way to rectify these errors of inconsistency of tense or not capitalizing the first letter of proper nouns is to revise your paragraph in a minute or two once you finish writing the first draft. So, as you can see that the author has given us the names of the dishes, and that brings in a colorful kind of picture of what food the people of the family had. It also goes on to tell us that the family were not quiet when they had their dinner, but they discussed the latest news on the current situation. And finally, let us find out the important points that we must remember when writing a paragraph. Point number one, use capital letters when starting a new sentence or while spelling a proper noun. Point number two, use one tense throughout the paragraph. Do not move from present tense to past tense to future tense at random. Stick to one single tense. And the last, but not the least important point, do not add information that is not directly relevant to the point. The reason for that is it will make your paragraph less effective and the focus of your paragraph will be lost.